On this episode of MythBusters,
time for smoking.
Adam and Jamie go head-to-head in a jailbreak race using salsa.
I'm roasting salsa. Holy crap.
And can you remove cement from a cement truck using dynamite?
Yay! Whoa!
Stand by for the MythBusters' biggest bang yet.
No.
As Adam, Jamie, and the FBI join forces and go for broke.
This has got nothing to do with the myth. This is just a big boom.
Who are the MythBusters?
Am I missing an eyebrow?
Adam Savage
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
and Jamie Heineman.
Quack, damn you.
I wouldn't say Jamie's an evil genius.
Between them, more than 30 years special effects experience.
When will the fun ever stop?
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test.
Well, this myth comes to us from the website, and apparently someone tried to remove concrete from a concrete truck with dynamite.
Is that even possible? You've worked in the industry a while. Have you ever heard anything like this?
I haven't actually heard of this happening, but I can imagine. I mean, as far as I know, the only other way to, get rid of concrete is with a chisel.
And I could see this actually working as long as you didn't put too much in there, you know,
Right.
and then the whole truck is gone. But if you did it just right, the shock wave would probably release the concrete from the surface of the metal drum.
So, Jamie, does this mean we have a dynamite myth on our hands?
That's what it means. And we have to
All
find
right.
some cement trucks.
At Pacific Cement, Vice President Ron Nunez has so many cement trucks, he's giving them away.
So apparently you've got some cement mixers that we can have our way with?
Yeah, you got about 4 of them.
4?
I'll give you
Getting
4.
given a cement truck is like all your Christmases coming at once.
I feel like Mad Max.
But this Santa Claus isn't parting company with a new truck.
Have you noticed the nice seat?
The one singled out for the MythBusters is way past its sell-by date, and getting it moving is a major operation.
Right now what we're trying to do is get this over to the cement mixer, but it's kind of a nightmare because this truck isn't working, so we're like pulling it out with chains from the back end. Now we got this tow truck that's gonna push it forward. I actually don't know how he's planning on getting this over there.
With a bit of push me, pull you, the MythBusters truck is off to the most explosive job of its career.
I can barely parallel park. This is freaking amazing.
Time for a lesson in the hard stuff.
How critical is it when you have a load of cement in here to get it dumped?
You have about 90 minutes max time to get the truck unloaded and get it out.
And what happens if you get stuck in traffic?
You hope and pray.
Letting a load go hard is the cardinal sin of a cement truck driver. But what about the layer of hardened concrete that every truck's barrel builds up over time?
So what's the normal way to clean out one of these?
The normal way of taking it out is putting a couple laborers in there and chip it out with chipping hammers.
2 unlucky laborers have toiled for a whole day with chippers to clean out this one, just for the MythBusters. But according to the myth, they could have got the same result by tossing in a stick of dynamite.
Probably want to stick the charges like right in the middle, maybe hang them, just so it's right hovering in the center of the barrel.
Have you heard the myth of people using explosives to attempt to clean these things?
Oh, yes, I have. Quite a few times. Over the past 4 or 5 years, I've heard it, yes. And I really don't think it'll work.
One way or another, Ron's going to find out. The MythBusters plan to load this barrel with just enough cement to coat it, let it harden, then blow it up.
So cool!
The truck is backed into position and the cement begins to pour. Then, in good old MythBusters fashion, it breaks down.
I think the barrel stopped turning. This cement truck's just about on its last legs as it is, but failure is always an option on MythBusters.
This could be a disaster. If it doesn't turn, we're not going to have cement. Then we won't have any cement to blow up.
On the other hand, if it does turn, the concrete gets mixed, and with all eyes on the mechanical problem, nobody notices that way too much is being loaded. But that's for later. In the meantime, the geriatric barrel groans and rocks, and finally rolls back into life. If that barrel's full, this could be a hollow victory.
Notice how, like, with every build we do, there's always like that moment of suspense where we're like, are we totally screwed?
They don't know it yet, but another one of those moments isn't far away. While the truck is towed to a safe location, Adam and Jamie set out on a saucy myth from Central America.
All right, big guy, what do we got going on now?
Well, in 1996, Mexican prisoner Juan Lopez managed to escape his cell by dissolving the bars of his cell room window with salsa from his jailhouse dinners.
Wow, do you think that's even possible?
It sounds like a tall tale, but according to the myth, Juan Lopez took just 6 years to corrode his way through metal bars using salsa, and he's never been seen since.
Okay, Jamie, there's one problem with testing this myth that I see is we don't have 6 years to test the effects of these salsas on our bars. How are we going to come up with a reasonable approach to this?
Well, this is an opportunity for you and I to pit our minds and our salsa against this problem and see who wins. We're going to see who can escape first.
I don't know. I think you still have an advantage over me. I mean, you escaped from a Mexican prison and I didn't.
In fact, both Jamie and Adam have an impressive pedigree of prison escape. In a previous episode, they broke out of Alcatraz.
This is so cool!
It seemed impossible, but the MythBusters proved escape from Alcatraz was plausible.
We made it!
Now, in the myth of salsa escape, the guys have to build a Mexican prison before they can break out of it.
Either of you had any experience mortaring walls with bricks?
Nope.
Well, you're gonna learn.
Don't shoot me with that pellet gun.
I'm not going to shoot nobody with a pellet gun.
Not unless I have to.
With only 2 days to get this jailhouse built, the man with no eyes stands vigil and offers occasional encouragement.
You ladies want to put your backs into it? I mean, it's going kind of slow. Well, that doesn't come out.
The build team have never laid a brick in their lives, so progress is less than spectacular. Jamie should know.
Did I tell you that I actually worked as a concrete inspector for several months in Seattle?
Was that before or after you were the large animal veterinarian for the circus?
No, I never did that. You must be mistaken.
So what was it like being a concrete inspector, oh boring one?
Well, I used to drive around and pick up, and I'd go to construction sites and take samples of the concrete as it was being poured, sitting there at cylinders for specified periods of time. And you even did it in a humid room.
So having been a concrete inspector, how is the MythBusters Mexican concrete here?
We're doing, I would say, a fairly unprofessional job of mixing concrete and putting a wall together. But it will work and it'll hold fine for our purposes.
Oh my God, it's level. Oh.
The prison wall goes up, but too slowly for Adam's liking, and the boss man comes down on the build team like a ton of bricks.
You're not going to like this, you guys, but the wall's it's not going nearly fast enough. I mean, I know you guys are you're working really hard for the last couple of days, but at this point it'll be a 3-day wall.
You know, we're really trying here. It's going as fast as we can get it to go.
Nonetheless, I gotta say, it's got to happen faster.
Adam's whip cracking leaves the chain gang distinctly underwhelmed.
Sorry to start off your morning like this. All right.
The problem is that with a raft of experiments to run, it's a complex build. First off, the cell bars are made from 5 different metals to test which, if any, is the most susceptible to corrosion by salsa.
Let me guess here.
Can he do it?
Hot roll, cold roll, galvanized stainless wrought iron.
Very good. A+ today. You've made up for being such a jerk this morning by being a good student.
As well as 5 different metals, the prison has 6 separate windows.
Jamie's bars, my bars.
1 each for Adam and Jamie.
Or maybe Jamie's bars, my bars.
And 4 others to test what characteristics of salsa are the most corrosive.
Soon, a stone wall will a prison make. Great!
By the end of day 2, the prison and the myth are starting to take shape. The MythBusters are on the trail of a construction industry myth. Can you remove the concrete buildup from a cement truck with dynamite? The unlucky truck is towed to a vacant lot where it's safe to use explosives inside the barrel. They mark out the center point, park the truck, and leave it overnight.
All right, so now we mapped it out. We got it placed. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna blow up the cement truck. How cool is that?
Pretty cool. On the surface, everything is good. But on the inside, there's a big surprise in store. A very, very big surprise.
Jamie, you're not going to believe this, but not only did we find a cement truck to play with, but this myth isn't as uncommon as we previously had thought. People at the cement place had definitely heard of this.
Well, I think there are a number of different versions of this myth. Some of them involve cherry bombs. There's also a quarter stick of dynamite and then a full stick or maybe even more. So one way or another, looks like we're going to have a big boom.
That sounds good, but I know you can't get a quarter stick of dynamite anywhere around here. I mean, not unless you're a professional, so I think we're gonna have to call in a pyrotechnician for this one.
Day 2, and while Tori unscrews the hatch cover, Scotty plans proceedings with pyrotechnician Jack Morocco.
What's the plan? You're our pyro professional.
Well, we've got several stages of explosives. We're gonna start very small, down at the cherry bomb level.
Remember Scotty's "are we screwed" moment?
Personally, I think we're going to blow concrete off of this thing before we actually get to the dynamite level.
Well, here it is.
Holy crap. It's like halfway filled. I'm standing on the cement.
Wow. So what's it look like?
A big slab of concrete. But there's plenty of room in here.
Adam's gonna go ape when he sees this.
So this is the beast, huh?
That's the beast. Definitely a beast now with all the concrete that's in it.
It's got a lot of concrete in it?
Oh my goodness, it's more than half full of concrete. There's a slab of concrete in there that's 3.5, 4 feet thick.
What happened, guys?
I was thinking it might be a couple of inches around the inside, but no, it's actually full. So if you calculate that all the way to the bottom of that hopper, that's a slab of concrete.
Just when this myth seems to be stuck firmly up a creek, Adam comes up with a paddle.
Well, so we have two myths to bust here. I mean, one is the myth of the guy trying to dislodge an ungodly slab, and the other is somebody just trying to clean it out, right?
Right.
Well, so this should suffice for both.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Can I take a look?
We can make it work.
Adam's thinking of the scenario where a cement truck breaks down and the load goes off.
Oh my God. That's just a little more than you thought, huh? Well, I mean, I think it really does duplicate the myth. I mean, it's about a guy going, how do I get rid of this huge slab of concrete, otherwise known as a floor, and just putting in a stick. And it may end up clearing some of this slag and thus proving the other part of the myth.
So with 2 myths to test, Jack strides into action. First out of his box of tricks, some fireworks banned by federal legislation. If you're wondering why, this public safety video should clear up any confusion. Here's an M80, a silver salute, and a cherry bomb, which is Jack's first choice.
Cherry bomb.
Blast danger! Clear the area! Blast danger! 3, 2, 1.
That sounded like we planted a midget with a paper bag. hey, let's go see what it did. That was thrilling.
If it did what it sounded like it did, the cherry bomb's no match for concrete.
What does it look like?
Looked like somebody exploded a little balloon.
Jack steps up to an M80, according to a schoolyard myth, equivalent to a quarter stick of dynamite.
3, 2, 1.
That sounded like you hit it with a sledgehammer.
The scoreboard reads, Concrete 2, MythBusters 0.
I don't think we have to waste much time on this. I think we could move to the bigger stuff. What do you think?
I think so too. It's not quite this.
We need more, Jack.
There's something about more that Jack doesn't understand.
I'm gonna have a mimosa over by the trailer.
Jack takes baby steps, while they want giant leaps.
I heard something go tink tink.
Apparently, that's the sound one of these makes.
You know how anticlimactic that was? The fire truck's leaving.
It's the ultimate bird repellent. No destruction at all. I'm sorry. Yay! Woo!
This myth is getting the better of them, and they're not happy. The floor is unscathed, and even the slag is intact. The myth that illegal firecrackers can remove concrete is blown to smithereens, unlike the concrete itself.
And that's 6 cubic yards of cement, and this is all we got.
I think it's clear. I think we need to go bigger.
I think we need to step it way up.
In their madcap Mexican myth, Adam and Jamie face a stretch in prison, so they go shopping for some spicy supplies. Their jailbreak jaunt is testing the myth that it's possible to rot through iron bars using only salsa.
All right, let's get some beer.
Laden with goodies, they return to base, where the prison is finally ready to take on convicts.
Well, Jamie, despite a few teething problems and a little lip from the natives, we actually got this Mexican prison built, and it's ready for our experiment. What do we do next?
Well, Warden Savage, we have 6 different types of salsa here ready to go, and we need to identify what in the ingredients of the salsa would possibly have an effect on corroding these bars.
I'd like to start with a thing I've never seen, which is salsa in a can.
The salsas are tested with a pH meter, with some interesting results.
You know, strangely, Jamie, I'm noticing here that the mildest salsa was the most acidic. I don't know what to make of that.
I don't think there is anything to make of it other than there's no particular connection between acidity and spiciness.
But there's certainly something in the salsa.
This one goes out to plucky Juan Lopez, wherever you are. Juan, this one's on me. La Molina, prison bars will not hold you. Yes. Cell phone circa 1980. I'm talking on a cell phone. Nope. Sense of humor, 0. Yep, see, 7, 0.
The salsa tests show the canned variety has the highest levels of acidity and salinity, so they move on to their control experiments.
All right, so this matches the acidity of the most acidic salsa?
That's it.
All right, let's do our first test.
So into the jars go solutions which match the acidity and salinity of the canned salsa. And in another cell, it's salsa verde for a little variety. Everything is ready for the great salsa escape.
Adam. Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh, I can hear you.
So we have the controls set up over here. What's next?
Well, Jamie, these last 2 windows with bars in them are so that you and I can devise a way to perhaps get through these bars and out of this prison faster than Juan Lopez using only salsa.
Well, what do you think? Are you going to win or am I?
You know, my money's on you, really, personally, although I plan to complain the entire way about being cheated. But really, I think you're going to win.
Well, at least you're not in the same cell as me.
Low self-esteem is no match for Adam's impetuous nature, and he leaps into action with a bright idea. Perhaps Juan Lopez used electricity from his cell light to power up his salsa escape.
Given the qualities of salsa, acidity, salinity, spiciness, I think that the salinity is going to be the most corrosive, and I will facilitate the salinity by adding electrolysis to the process, which is quite easy with this light.
It seems a cunning plan. Any saline solution, like salsa, can be used as an electrolyte. Pass an electric current through it, and it should increase the rate of oxidation of the iron bar, or in other words, cause it to rust.
I'm attaching the anode of my impromptu prison electrolysis machine. All right, now I have 2 live wires.
And finally, the secret ingredient.
We'll let this rag stand in for my underpants.
For some slightly disturbing reason, Adam thinks that adding his underpants into the mix will increase the rate of corrosion. The weirdest jailbreak in history is about to begin.
Let's see if this is hot. That's hot.
Hot and deadly.
I actually have a lot of experience with electricity, and I know how to do this to keep myself safe. This is plenty of power to kill me very quickly. You should never do this at home, ever. I'm roasting salsa. This is cool, but I'm pumping lots of electricity through the wire, through the bar right there.
The sizzling in Adam's cell twitches nostrils and raises eyebrows.
So you don't think the other prisoners or guards in this prison would have smelled burning salsa?
I don't think this would draw anyone's attention at all. But you know, if Juan Lopez had done this every day for a few minutes a day so as not to let too much smoke build up, this might just have been how he broke out of prison.
At the end of day one, Adam's the red-hot favorite. But it's a long road to freedom, and Jamie's a patient man. Back at the cement truck, the MythBusters want a bigger boom.
So, Jack, what do you got in that there box?
Well, I got a 1 pound black powder bomb.
Only 1 pound?
1 pound wrapped, hard wrapped black powder.
Well, what do you think it's going to do?
I think it's going to make a big bang and a lot of flash and smoke, and I think it may possibly loosen up some of your concrete.
The pyro's under pressure, but he's here for good reason. The idea is to remove the concrete without blowing up the truck. It's an incremental process, but the black powder bomb should be a big step up.
Blast danger! Clear the area! Blast danger! And 3, 2, 1.
Much better.
The explosion rocks the truck with a blast equivalent to almost half a stick of dynamite.
The sphincter is...
I saw it flying out that way.
The team rushes in to check the damage. At last, a chink in the cement's armor.
I would call this a trophy. That came right off one of the bins, the first bin. I just pulled it off.
Did we break some off the floor?
Nothing off the floor.
The floor's untouched. If this happened to a driver, he'd have to dig his way out of trouble.
How much of a nightmare would it be if you're driving along and got stuck in traffic and had your entire full load go off?
I can't think of anything worse.
The MythBusters are fighting a losing battle with Twister 1. Right on cue, another truck with just the right amount of concrete on board.
Isn't that great? I mean, it's like, we need a second cement truck. Okay. I love this job.
I don't like this one. I want to blow that one up.
Oh, yeah. That's perfect for our experiment. I mean, that's ideal. It's like a good 1-inch, half-inch cake on all the fins.
The sudden turn of events seems to have affected Jamie.
This is wonderful in here. I'd like to live in here. It's sort of like some sort of psychedelic thing going on with the spirals and whatnot. It's actually quite pretty.
Jamie lives in San Francisco.
This is the absolute perfect thing for this test because, you know, there are large areas that have built up, you know, 3 or 4 inches all over the interior. And so if the explosion works the way it should, I'd anticipate all of that stuff just to be laying on the bottom when we come back to it.
Let's just go for whatever Jack's got left in the truck.
All right, load it up.
Back at the Mexican jailbreak, Adam's off to a flyer.
Time for smoking.
Pumping lethal amounts of electricity into the salsa surrounding his bar. But Jamie's unimpressed.
He's practicing for his experience with the electric chair.
Oh, ow, hot burning salsa napalm.
He's just kind of watching sparks fly. It's not doing a damn thing on that bar.
Jamie's taunts find their target, and Adam is burning to prove him wrong.
Yeah, you know what? It would be nice to actually, beat Jamie at one of these games. I'm tired of losing.
Remember the myth of goldfish memory.
25 seconds, it's a record.
Mine are eating their own poo.
And how about the levitation machine?
I'm out of ideas. I just ran out, just a second.
But Adam loves the smell of salsa burning in the morning. It smells like victory.
Oh, I'm so gonna kick Jamie's butt at this.
Though he's still on the starting blocks, Jamie has one big advantage over his rival: patience.
Think, then act. Don't act, then think.
In myth busting, as in life, wise words indeed.
You only have the luxury of going so damn slow because I'm actually, doing filmable work right now. But that's okay.
What are you whining about?
Adam's going to complain a lot louder when he finds out what Jamie's got up his sleeve.
Due to my good behavior, as opposed to Adam, who's been spewing salsa everywhere, I've been granted the privilege of having a radio in my cell, and this is going to form the basis of my escape attempt. The theory is that if I take this radio apart and I find a DC transformer in here, it's going to allow me to accelerate the corrosive process.
Jamie knows that only DC current will work in electrolysis. Adam doesn't, which is why he's using AC current and simply cooking salsa.
Adam is using AC current, which has it going both ways, and it's going to maybe take some metal off, but then it's going to put it back, it'll take it off, it'll put it back. This approach, I believe, is going to be a lot more direct current, and we're going to accelerate the process a lot more.
Armed with his unshared knowledge, Jamie extracts the DC transformer and creates an electrical circuit on his cold-rolled steel bar.
There we go. That looks pretty darn perfect to me. Now for the salsa.
In electrolysis, electrons flow from the negatively charged steel rod through the saline salsa solution and into the positively charged copper wire, causing corrosion.
So we are getting voltage, so I haven't blown the radio yet. It's working. And I can see slow little bubbles forming in the middle of the salsa. It's exactly what I want, a slow flow of electrons away from the steel and into the copper wire. We'll see what happens when we come in tomorrow.
Day 7.
What is this?
This is a radio.
How'd you get a bloody radio?
I was good. The warden let me have a radio.
What did you do?
To listen to music in my cell, to entertain myself.
What does it look like?
Well, it looks like I'm getting some serious pitting there. I think I'll be through in about a week.
Oh, man.
How are you doing on yours? Are you getting any pitting?
No, none at all. I don't mind that you got the radio. To me, Jamie, it's just another example of you, making sure you get the rules bent enough until the thing can work, whereas I'm willing to work under the parameters originally given for a myth.
Adam was in such a hurry to make sparks and steam that he just kind of went for it, which is Adam's usual style. And I'm not even started on this yet, but I'll bet that I'm going to make it through way ahead of Adam.
By the end of week 1, Adam's inclined to agree.
I don't really think I'm making that much progress. I think I'm going to have to go to plan B. What's plan B? I don't know yet.
Back at the cement saga, the MythBusters are busting for a bigger bang. So they've decided to throw everything they've got at the second truck. While Jack prepares his biggest blast and Carrie christens Twister 2, Tari gets in touch with his anger. Adam just gets on with being Adam.
I'm very frightened to think of what this is describing that could happen to you.
This time, the pyro will detonate the equivalent of a stick and a half of dynamite in a lightly coated barrel. Can he blow the cement off without destroying the truck?
Blast danger! Clear the area! 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jack saved his biggest blast till last. But was it big enough?
I see intact concrete right here.
The first indications seem to confirm their doubts.
I mean, I think we can safely now say that a stick of dynamite
Suspended.
ideally suspended inside a cement truck is not going to clean out the whole cement truck.
It looks like the MythBusters may have been caught short. Then Scotty decides to take a closer look.
Got some big chunks. A lot of stuff came off. This area is pretty clean. The stuff that's still here is pretty loose.
As the concrete crumbles, so does the initial verdict.
I feel like revising my former "this myth is busted" statement. I mean, it's a huge amount of
concrete we're bringing out of here.
The high-speed camera shows the moment of concussion when expanding air shakes loose the concrete slag.
I mean, this is totally plausible, right?
To tell you the truth, if I were a cement truck driver and I had to clean out my truck, I would probably try this first because jackhammering in here does not sound like a lot of fun.
Between using a stick of dynamite or a jackhammer, what would you use?
Well, if I happen to have a stick of dynamite laying around, I'd definitely use the dynamite.
That's a no-brainer.
But what about Twister 1 with its barrel full of concrete?
If you do that to a truck, you're screwed. You know, it's like it's a solid rock, and so, you know, you can't really put enough explosive in there to blow that up without just blowing the truck up.
Now that sounds like an idea. It's day 26 at the MythBusters Mexican prison, and the Salsa escape contest is heating up. For almost a month, Adam has been passing AC current through Salsa to corrode his iron bar.
Good morning, dearies. Would you like a little food? Oh, yeah. Oh, you love that, huh? I have to believe I'm doing something with this. There's a serious amount of power going on.
Meanwhile, Jamie has been using DC current and Salsa to corrode his bar. A quick check on progress shows that Adam's going nowhere fast.
Oh, God, this stuff smells rank.
It looks kind of like poo.
Doesn't look like I'm getting much of anything, does it? If anything, it's getting thicker. I'm increasing the mass of the bar.
Meanwhile, Jamie's been working miracles.
Whoa! No way!
It's a staggering result.
It's just amazing. Wow. You made it through like 2/10 of an inch in a month. Salsa is definitely getting outlawed in prisons after this.
Well, it seems like we're about halfway through it at present. It's doing really well. Just goes to show there's a significant difference between AC and DC electricity in this application. And that's just with a little tiny DC rectifier that is on the radio. So it's really quite fun.
Jamie's winning and grinning, while Adam's trailing again.
Well, I produced a hell of a lot of fireworks, but no actual results, and I think I have to call it quits and admit defeat. DC is obviously much better than AC, but I've still got a couple of tricks up my sleeve.
Like cheating.
Okay, I have one other plan. The prisoners from Alcatraz also used a vacuum cleaner motor with a simple drill bit stolen from the prison shop to get through the wall. And I know from Levitation Machine episode that we've got some vacuum cleaner motors. I'm gonna go get one.
Right on cue,
You should go away and go check your salsa.
Jamie shows up. The game's up, but what the heck?
Every day you wait for your one opportunity. It's like, doors open, like this, and you go, wow.
And with that, Plan B bites the dust.
I'm gonna call it a day.
Plan C involves pee and comes from Hollywood.
There's a movie called Shanghai Noon in which Jackie Chan breaks out of prison using a silk shirt wrapped around the bars, and he twists them until the bars move far enough for him to slip between them. And the myth is that wet silk doesn't break. So I've got a silk shirt here. I'm going to try it around my bars and see if that works. You know, I don't think Jackie Chan used real weight. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it's warm. I don't want it to be warm.
Adam's enthusiasm for this twisted myth is running dry.
There's pee everywhere.
Since I'm doing so well with my own bars, I'll see if I can help you out with yours.
On MythBusters, friendship knows no bounds, unlike the silk.
There it goes.
What? Where did it break?
At the bars.
Yeah, it seems to have sheared right there. So, pea-soaked silk shirt.
Busted. Adam's washed up after 4 months of failure, and this escape becomes a one-horse race. Back in the unforgiving world of concrete, the MythBusters have some unfinished business. They proved one myth plausible when they cleaned concrete slag from the barrel of Twister 2 with dynamite. But they were frustrated by Twister 1 with its full load of concrete.
If we don't blow up the truck, we're gonna have to drive it off a cliff or something.
Adam and Jamie hate to let a sleeping myth lie. So it's back for a third truck, and hopefully 3 times the charm.
Tor, we really confirmed the plausibility of the first part of the cement truck myth, but I don't know how Jamie feels, but I don't think we really approached the second part. You know, can you get rid of a huge load faster with dynamite than with normal chipping?
So we've nominated you to prove that it actually is possible to remove concrete from a truck by manual labor.
What? So, did I miss a meeting when this decision was made?
Yeah, you missed that meeting, but that's okay. You know, we're all really proud of you for taking one for the team. See you later, guy.
Hey, thanks.
Nice.
I know what you're thinking. Why does he get all the best jobs? I must have done something to piss them off. I'm trying to remember what it was. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. They don't want me to knock all this out, do they?
Luckily for Tori, the answer is no. But they do want an hour's rock-hard labor just to satisfy their curiosity. Oh, and to watch Tori suffer, of course.
Dude, how's it going in there?
It's kind of cozy.
You guys love this, don't you?
So, how long do you think it would take? I mean, what's your estimate in terms of man hours?
Well, considering this is the first time I've ever actually broken up cement out of a big cement truck, I wouldn't be able to give you a accurate bid. So why don't I just start and maybe I'll be able to gauge from there.
All right, cool. We'll call you from the trailer.
Aha! Bunch of funny guys.
It's confined in there. It's this big fat tin can. It's the noisiest, most unpleasant environment. I think maybe fiberglassing a house from the inside might be worse than this, but only by a little bit. How's it going in there, Tor?
Oh, what? I can't hear anymore.
How's it going?
Oh, my ears. I don't have my hearing protection on.
What do you think that is? About a half a cubic foot?
If not.
Oh my God. That's it, Tor?
Yeah, I know, it's pretty pathetic. I feel sorry for anybody who would have to do this for a real job.
That's it. That's about an hour's work right there. So how long do you think that would take, man?
Dude, I have no idea. I mean, this would probably take like at least a week, maybe a month. I mean, it's a horrible job, and there's no way one person could actually do this. There's got to be a better way to like get cement out of these trucks.
Oh, I think we have a better way.
Am I done now?
Yeah, you're done. Come on out. Hit the showers.
Enough with the jackhammer. Enough with cement. Enough with this truck. The MythBusters' patience has finally run out.
Well, Jamie, I've had enough of this myth. If I never see another cement truck in my life, it'll be too soon.
Yeah, I think it's time we stop screwing around. We've had 3 goes, and I think we need to blow the crap out of that thing.
I agree. So here's what I'm thinking we should do. Get high explosives and the FBI to assist us and blow that sucker a bigger boom than we've ever done before on the show.
Well, that's great, but where the heck are we going to get somebody to let us do that?
In fact, we have a amenable quarry owner about 2.5 hours from here who's going to let us use his rock quarry to do this explosion in. So it's a fantastic location.
5 a.m., Carson Hill, Calaveras County. It's quiet. Too quiet. Then, along come the MythBusters with their own private army.
We have paramedics, we got fire folks, bomb technicians. We've got Deputy Phil Ross from Calaveras County SO. He is also responsible for this event.
No,
and
no.
the local
This is shaping up to be one heck of a boom.
They're going to be even shutting down the highway in the vicinity. So that should kind of put it into perspective that this is a serious deal that we have going here.
A truckload of high explosive arrives, along with FBI Special Agent Frank Doyle.
Frank, Adam, Savage.
Hi, Adam. Nice to meet you guys.
How you doing?
Welcome to the little country.
He's been lured out of retirement to make sure things go off with a bang.
Just how big is this blast going to be?
Well, we're going to use 850 pounds of commercial blasting agent, and we anticipate that we will take this truck down to the frame rails.
Sounds perfect. So the explosives experts swing into gear. The first job, open up an access panel in the side of the barrel. They cut through the tough steel using oxyacetylene.
Anytime you set off a massive explosion like this, we're going to end up with high velocity frag metal. The drum is a 1/4 inch steel, and that'll break up and come apart and fly at a high velocity.
Under watchful eyes, dozens of bags of high explosive are loaded into the drum. It's the same mixture that professionals use for quarrying, and it's guaranteed to give job satisfaction.
Can we be on the top of that hill over there to watch this blast? Is that far enough away?
It looks like it would meet the criteria, but having done this for about 30 years with the size of this explosion, I don't want to watch this because that one little piece of flying high velocity metal, just like a bullet, catches you in the head or wherever and you're down for the count. So I don't watch these kinds of explosions.
Back at the prison, 4 months are up and Adam's out of the race. So it's over to Jamie to see how this marathon Mexican myth measures up.
55,000. Jamie's got very coarse mustache hairs.
Cazadores de mitos.
Cazadores de mitos. So, are you ready to do a final check and see if Juan Lopez could have possibly broken out of prison using salsa?
Yeah, let's go check them all out.
At the outset of their bid for freedom, Adam and Jamie set up various tests to see which of salsa's qualities are most corrosive.
0.609.
The acid and saline solutions have eaten into the bars, but it's the salsa itself that's taken the biggest bite.
The salsa's having more damage on this than any of our other control tests. It would seem that there's something about the salsa, the combination of acid and salt and water, that's
picante.
greater than the sum of its parts.
It's the picante part of it that is done.
8 1/1000ths of an inch of iron in 110 days.
Working gangbusters, it seems. A couple thou a month in 50 years, you'd be right through that bar. Psh, gone, man.
But perhaps like Jamie, one used a DC current from a radio to speed up corrosion.
Now that we've seen the combined effects of salsa, I think it's time to see the combined effects of Heinemann and some electricity and an iron bar.
Okay.
Incredibly, the Mythbuster with the mustache is only a whisker away from freedom.
Dude, that is radical. Jamie, you are such a stud. That is so radical. I am really impressed.
You know, I think it worked pretty well. If Juan had done that to all the bars, he'd be up by now.
I'm just totally blown away by how effective that is. I think it's going to initiate a new spate of lockdown rules in prisons across the United States.
Well, so much for DC current and salsa and electrolysis. How'd you do?
Well, my AC current did bupkis. My peed on Jackie Chan's silk robe didn't work at all until later. My handmade prison drill was the most frightening thing I've ever held in my hand. I have one last ditch effort to try and get out, which is and I escaped! In your face, iron bar! What do you think? Want to call it a tie?
Both our jailbirds have flown the coop, but against all expectations, Jamie actually did it, in line with the myth.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing that the salsa, in fact, works better than any of these other acids or salts or things that we had going. And 6 years, you know, actually it's surprisingly really plausible.
We're totally blown away, I think. Both of us thought this myth was completely ridiculous. When I pulled it off the web last year, I was like, yeah, whatever. To find out that it's actually plausible is pretty amazing.
0 hour is approaching at the quarry, and there's a 1 mile exclusion zone around the truck. Only the digital camera operator, Jeremy, will be within the zone, and he'll be behind the blast screen.
Jeremy, don't forget to duck, okay?
You bet, Jamie. Thanks for the tip.
We've got a quarry, we've got a mile of blast clearance, we've got a fire department, we've got a bomb squad, we've got some FBI techs, we've got all the help we need to blow that thing up over there. What do you think?
Can't tell you how excited I am about this one.
Todo quiero grande boom.
Sí, senor. Isn't this like the biggest explosion we've done on MythBusters?
This is the biggest by like 1,000%.
1,000 times bigger than any of these.
Am I missing an eyebrow?
This is going to be big.
So, Frank, we've learned from hard experience that we need to respect the instructions of the experts in explosives. Tell me about what you have here and what we need to do, what's going to happen.
Well, we're all set. We've got a huge amount of explosive in there, and we will not have much concrete left, but a lot of small pieces of cement truck.
Well, that's what we do on MythBusters. Is we take large objects and make them into very small objects.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that for you.
I guess the next thing would be is let's get the heck out of here.
Let's get a long way away.
All right.
So, reluctantly, the MythBusters head up the closed-down highway to their lookout point over 1 mile away.
The vantage point.
Yeah, we are all here at the visitor center. We are ready and waiting for the 5-minute warning and then the countdown. Over.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Big piece of chunk coming down, man.
That was a little bit harder than I thought it would be.
It seems so peaceful, and then it just like...
I think the cement truck evaporated.
Wow.
See, that aftershock was a lot stronger than I thought it would be.
Let's go see what it looks like.
It looks like after this, there won't be a whole lot left. Especially not the close-up kamikaze cannon. Finally, 3 cement trucks, 1 camera, and a barrel full of high explosive later, the MythBusters have got what they came for.
This is crazy.
Well, there's your problem.
Where'd it go? It's all gone. There's no more truck.
I left it right here. MythBusters 1, cement truck 0.
This has got nothing to do with the myth. This is just a big boom.
Jamie likes nothing more than a big boom, and this one takes the cake.
You know, I've never seen a blast that big before. That's really impressive. Talk about removing concrete. There is no concrete, there's no truck, there's no nothing.
That's what happens on MythBusters. When the guys don't get what they want, they just keep on going until they do.